Bags down, spikes on. Welcome to the track. Hi, my name is Colin Waitsman. I'm going to be your host for this episode of Track World News presented by Track Barn. And today we have a very special episode. We say that a lot here, but this time we especially mean it because we've got the jersey from this man hanging on the wall. You see it in pretty much every single episode we make. We have the runner-up at this previous year's NCAA championship, SEC champion in the 110 hurdles, 11th in the world in the 110 hurdles with the 13.15. Eric Edwards, formerly of LSU, now a professional. Eric, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on, man.
It's crazy to think, but summer is finally over. If you don't want to be looking crazy on your first day back to school or on your first day back to fall training, the sponsor of today's video, Manscaped, has you covered. Manscaped just sent me their brand new performance package, which comes with the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all your goodies. Look, I've tried a lot of razors in my day, but the Lawnmower 4.0 is just different. Its ceramic blade helps reduce grooming accidents, LED light allows you to shave anytime, anywhere, and since it's waterproof, you can even take it in the shower if you want. You know what they say, look good, feel good, run good. If you want to show up to fall training and dominate like a beast, make sure you use code TWN at checkout when shopping with Manscaped and have an awesome fall training. We'll see you there.
Appreciate you having me, man. That introduction fire.
Of course. No, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. And so, like we said, I want to start teeing off. So you ended up getting handed me the LSU jersey. And I got to say, it's done a lot of good. The people that have signed it have done well. It was you, Sean Burrell, and Noah Williams. And all three of y'all balled out either that year, next year. So I don't know what it is, but if you want to do well, sign some stuff, send it over here. It's going to work out. Could any fans keep an eye out for potential more drops from you in the future? I'm sure people are probably wondering.
Absolutely. I like giving back, especially to the youth, but I like just giving back, what I'm saying? I know the little kids go crazy about the LSU gear, so I want to give them an opportunity to be able to experience that. For
sure. You guys got I've always liked the LSU kind of, I don't know, there's like a swagger that y'all have. Like, it's just something, it's like different universities, like y'all known for a different thing. And it's just like, if you go to LSU, like you can't be just no regular. Like you gotta have something going on, man.
You gotta be a dog.
Exactly. No, that's for sure. So before we get into some of the track and field stuff, I always notice you, and this is a little related to track and field, but you got it on now. You always got chains on. You always iced out. You always got stuff going on. Where could you give us any background on if they mean anything to you, if there's any reasoning behind it, or where you got them? Like, what's the story behind the stuff?
Some of them mean something to me. Like this one in particular right here. This is my mom's dad, my grandfather. I never met him, but she always just tells me like she sees similar traits inside of me from him. So I wear that, what I'm saying, while I'm competing every day. Kind of represent that side of the family because I don't really know that side. Where is that? This one right here was my first chain. My dad got me like when I was 16. I just never took it off since. My dad gave me a chain. And then about like, I think last year, I wear my chains at track meets, but I wanted to focus on, just something that was unique to myself. I seen guys in the past rock the chains, different type of chains, but I'm like, I want to just do it my way.
There you go. And I've seen, I don't know if you do it as well, but I know a lot of hurdlers, or not hurdlers, just sprinters in general, they'll compete, they'll hold their chain in their mouth. They'll like bite on it. Do you do that or no?
I'm kind of scared because like, I don't want to bite down and then like either mess up my teeth or mess up my chain. Like I'll eliminate that risk.
There you go. Do you know why they do it? Like I'll see it. Like I know Omar does it. I think DeAndre does it. Like I
don't know. I can't do it. I don't know mentally, like because I don't want to be tense running either. So if I feel like I have that in my mouth, I would have to be tense to keep it in my mouth. So it's just things I don't even want to think about when I'm competing.
I got you. And so right now, what would you say are some of your favorite things that you do, off the track? Like, you finish practice, you finish your meet, you're relaxing, you get to choose what you do. What's a night in look like for Eric?
I'm gonna play a game of Madden, whatever the latest version of Madden is. I'm gonna play it online or against somebody. And I'm gonna want to bet some money with somebody too.
There you go. I see you be posting the Madden 23.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. How's the game? I hear a lot of things from it. Is it people either love it or they're hating it? Where do you fall on this season?
It's better, but I really just play it for the updated rosters now, because Madden's the only company that makes a football game, and I love football, so I'm gonna play the game, but it could be so much better.
Yeah, that's something like the sports games in general. I'm always like, man, there's so many like things I wish that y'all did, or like looking back at the old games, like when they had the like NFL 2K, and it's like,
you just falling through the cracks.
Exactly. Like there's opportunity to be great here. Like what's going on? What would you say are some artists or albums or songs that you've been having just on repeat? Recently?
For sure, NBA YoungBoy, Last Lamido. That's been played out. I've been listening to Young Nudie EA Monster. The shuffle always got the G Herbo in it. Lil Candy Paint just dropped some. Electric on Apple Music. And my boy Golden, Goldie Gang on Apple Music.
All right, there you go. So for you, do you I know because you're from like Texas and then Louisiana as well. Like, what would you say you rep more? Like, what are you more, Texas or Louisiana guy?
It's difficult. I'm not gonna say I'm 50-50 because my heart doesn't say that, but like my culture, how I was raised, how I think, like that. I'm Louisiana, right? But the opportunities I was given in Texas to be in the position that I'm in right now, like I don't think I would be here if Hurricane Katrina never happened and other things didn't happen. So I don't. It's kind of hard because I claim Louisiana, but like I can't diss Texas at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at that time, that was crazy for like everybody. I know one of my friends, like she had to move because of Hurricane Katrina. It was just like wild time. How old were you? Like, could you break us down like what that was like as a kid, like going through that type of situation?
I really don't even remember the transition. Like I remember going to the first day of school in New Orleans. Like I was like, I think either kindergarten or first grade. I was going to the first day of school. Then all of a sudden we're in a hotel, in an apartment, and I'm starting school somewhere else. And like, but thankfully my parents just shielded me from seeing the downs at such a young age, going through that transition process. You know what I'm saying? Like now that I'm older and I understand what they went through, you know what I'm saying, trying to get back on their feet, while I don't really have a memory of any trauma that went through that horrific time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a blessing from them. So
yeah, so I'm up in the Northeast in like Philly, and so we had Hurricane Sandy. It was a lot smaller than Katrina, obviously, but I just remember like the nights because like our basement was like flooded to hell. It's like, so I just remember my dad like getting buckets and walking up and just pouring it out every like all night. I'm like, hey, like I went to sleep. I wake up in the middle of the night. You still doing? Wake up. I'm like, dang, that was crazy. They had to stop like schools and everything for like a week or two.
We thankfully evacuated the day before it hit.
Oh, that's good.
And we weren't in it, thankfully.
That's good. Yeah, that whole situation that would have probably been awful. But glad to hear. There were some positives. Did offer some great opportunities for you, over in Texas. So glad that worked out. And then had some other questions for you. So I went back to the old Twitter vase, and I found a couple old tweets from you. And I got to get some closure on what you were talking about here. Nothing crazy, but I got to get some closure. So we'll go from recent to oldest. So first, this was March 31st, 2020. So probably right after the pandemic. You said, Moodle is tripping right in the middle of my test. Do you remember what that test was and how you might have done?
Moodle, that was probably, it was at the fall, so we just got canceled. Yeah, that was when we just got like moved to online during the pandemic after they canceled the season, and everyone was on Moodle at the same time. Oh yeah, I don't remember what class it was, but I think the teacher ended up like, she understood the situation and opened up another time to take the test. I don't remember what or how I did, but I remember that's why the situation was.
Yeah, that was craziest looking back at. I'm glad I graduated right before it, so I'm like, man, I'm glad I had to worry about all these online classes, man. That's
everything was strictly online after, like, as soon as we got back from New Mexico, we were online.
Because y'all were there, right? It was like the next day.
We were there. We were 30 minutes away from going to practice, and he called us down into the team room to tell us that, yeah, so they're canceling the whole meet, because before this they had just canceled, like the Big Ten had pulled out and the ACC had pulled out, so we were like, all right, like, it's about to be SECs all over again, but like, we still about to compete, and then they canceled it. Sick.
Yeah, it's like, dang, you were right. He was right there, like literally everyone was there.
We were there. Rudy Gobert made the whole world panic.
Yeah, come on, Rudy.
I'm sorry. He's the reason why we got shut down, because everyone panicked.
That's it. Hey, I'm all right with putting the blame on him. That's fine with me. Next question here. This kind of, I guess, ties in a little bit. This was September 15th, 2019. You said New Orleans Saints equal the most hated team in America. Can you expand on why the New Orleans Saints might be the most hated team in America over the Dallas Cowboys?
Because people hate on Cowboys fans, right? Because Cowboys fans, every year, we're going to the Super Bowl, we'll barely win the East. Okay, cool. But I feel like with Saints fans, like, we boost about our team. Like, we'll say, like, oh, Jameis Winston, Jameis Winston gonna do what he has to do, take us to the promised land. Out of nowhere, everyone, oh, Jameis sucks. Oh, bad. And just dishing out trash. Nothing. Like, damn, but like, I can't uplift my team without, like, I don't feel another fan base gets as much criticism from that. My partners still tell me, the bag wears, the ain'ts, and I'm like, that was 2005. Like,
How did you feel about that one? What was it? The pass interference thing? How hurt were you?
I've been devastated. 2017 and 2018 were the hardest football seasons ever. Because 2017 was the Minneapolis Miracle with Stephon, and I that brought me to my knees. And then 2018 with the no pass interference. I remember watching the game in Oregon, in a room full of Los Angeles Ram fans. And it was bad.
That had to be brutal.
It was hard because I was talking so much shit. Oh man, and
then it came right down.
And then I would just witness us get cheated, and I couldn't do anything about it.
Tragic, absolutely tragic. Hopefully y'all will do pretty good this year. We'll keep our fingers crossed for it. Next one here. So I agree with this point personally, but I'm sure a lot of people may not. This was from August 31st, 2018. You said sugar does not go on grits, salt and pepper does. Can we hear a defense on why sugar doesn't belong on grits? I'm in that same boat.
Personally, I've never tasted it because it doesn't sound good, but from what I've heard, people say it makes it sweet, but in my opinion, like, that consistency for sweetness, you might as well just eat oatmeal. Like, if you want that flavor, I don't know. I've never done it. I don't have any interest in doing it. I don't like oatmeal, so I don't think I'll like sugary grits. I'm gonna keep putting salt and pepper and butter, sometimes Tony's, on my grits.
There you go. That's the right thing to do. All the kids that are growing up wondering what you got to put on your grits: salt, pepper, butter, maybe a little Tony's. None of the sugar stuff. Get that out of here. So you heard it here first. Now I want to make a little transition here. So of where your track career kind of got started. So I guess we can go at the beginning. Like, what got you interested in running track, and was it always track for you, or was there something else that you were interested in to begin with?
I know I started running track when I was 9 years old, so 2009. Like I got all the AAU medals on my wall. That's track is life. But yeah, I started at 9 because I used to play football. I played football, like Little League football when I was 7. Met one of the football coaches. He was like, "Hell yeah, we all, you know what I'm saying, get this track team together." So we joined this max velocity track team out here. I did AAU from 9 years old to when I was 16. I started hurdles at 11 years old when you could. Like, I think you sub-midget was the first age group. So I started hurdles then. My hurdle coach, shout out James Spivey, best in Houston, Texas. I worked with him from 11 years old to when I graduated high school. And he made me into that dog.
Yeah, it's cool, like being able to look back at like some of the coaches that it's like in the moment you may not realize like how important like they are to your growth, but then it's like, oh man, this was like I'm not here if it ain't for, you know, whoever it is. It's like then going back and thanking them for, you know, everything they did.
Absolutely. And then I started hurdles at 11, but I did the multi events. That's what I did the multi events, like the pentathlon. Okay. I've done every event in track besides pole vault, the 30, the steeplechase, and javelin and discus. But I've done everything else, like 1500 to the 100, and then shot put, high jump, long jump, triple jump. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then that brings a question then. Hey, if you were training from today and you had a competition this time next year, how do you think you would do in the decathlon?
Oh man, I could do it. I'll have to learn how to pole vault, javelin, discus, and shot put would kill me because that as a decathlon, that ball is heavy. Nah, that's not good.
So that ball's heavy. Nah, you're right. You're right. And so then you obviously succeeded very well in AAU, high school track and field, and all of that, and then ended up going out to Oregon. What drew you over to Oregon and, you know, committing there and starting your career with them?
So it's funny because I wanted to come to LSU out the gate. I had a home visit of Coach Benny. He came straight to my house. He told me, he was like, "E, we don't have no money for you." I was like, dang. So I took that. Took a visit to. I didn't get in contact with Oregon until after I won USA U20 juniors and out there in Sacramento in 2017. And I had to email Coach Curtis, and then he emailed me back talking about a visit. But I ended up visiting Texas A&M, Texas Tech, Ohio State, and Oregon. And I was gonna go to USC, but I had already said I wanted to go to Oregon. But out of everywhere I visited, Oregon I felt was the best place at the time I could excel on the track, and that was my main focus. And
yeah, and them uniforms are pretty cool. I'm sure that, you know, getting that
was dream school number 2 growing up as well. I've seen Anthony Thomas in the Oregon uniforms growing up. I'm like, I want to go there.
There you go. And you talked about it briefly, Texas Tech. And so a little while ago, you actually posted a photo of like your class that was there, like your recruiting class, all that went to Texas Tech, and kind of going on like what could have been. Could you break down like what that visit was like and just the crazy top tier talent that were all looking at this one school at one point?
Yeah, so Coach Rob had brought out, it was me, Shakari, Jasmine Moore, Kyle Garland, DJ, 25-foot long jumper. It was like, I think his name was Jalen, a 53-foot long jumper, like coming out of high school. JUCO guy from Jamaica. It was some talent, and he kept saying like the whole time, he was like, it's the big dogs week. It's the big dogs week. I'm bringing all the number 1 recruits to Texas Tech and get them to commit. I was like, all right, good. It was for my first ever visit, like it was a good gauge level visit, like to gauge, okay, how, you know, I'm saying good starter baseline.
when you went on your other visits or just through the recruiting process, was it like that often where it was like all like these top tier recruits all at one point, or was it kind of sporadic, maybe a few here and there?
Personally, I feel it depended on how the coach felt that week. But not all of them. Like, I mean, all of let me think. I'm trying to think back. Most of my visits that I had were like, I was on a visit with another like highly ranked athlete. But I think Texas Tech may have been the only one that was set up like that. Cause I think Oregon's big dog week was when DJ visited there. I think he visited there before me. Mm-hmm. So I missed out on that one, but
all good. It worked out. And then, so started off career over there in Oregon, and then ended up transferring over to LSU. Obviously worked out, pretty well for you. But, when you're in your head, like what was going on during that process? I know a lot of people, many of the listeners are college kids or high school kids that haven't gone through that, that transfer process, or, aren't sure what it is. Like, what was that like? Was it scary? Was it exciting? What's the feelings?
So personally, like when I was out there in Oregon and I got hurt, I was out for like 6 weeks because I broke my collarbone. And like I wasn't able to compete. I wasn't able to run at indoor nationals, and I made it my freshman year, and I was sick, and I got really down. I'm not gonna label it depressed, but I was really just down, and I had a realization. I was like, I'm not mentally in the right space as just a regular person. Like, I'm a student athlete, but if God forbid, anything happens and I can't be a student athlete anymore, right? Can I find a way to be happy here? Can I function? Can I, operate as a normal person? And I didn't feel I could out there in Oregon just because it was so different. Like I was so young. The adjustment was so different. Like the culture was different. It personally felt like I was in a whole different like country. But again, I put that on me being young, not just ever seeing anything. But I talked to my mom about it. I prayed about it a lot. And God led me to, the steps of making a decision to transfer. And when I got in the portal, that was the first year of the portal. So like it was fresh. People were scared.
Yeah, rookie in the game.
But I got in it, and then once I got in it, I took a visit to Arkansas, Kentucky, and then LSU. But like I already knew, like I wanted to go to LSU as soon as that's where I wanted to go. Mm-hmm. So. And it was pretty smooth. Like it was literally just like free agency though. Like how the NBA free agency is. If you like, at the time I made finals. I made the NCAA final as a freshman. That was a race with Grant and D-Rob.
Oh yeah. One of my friends was in there too. That was Gilchrist from St. Francis. That was 2019. Was that 2019?
Yeah, that was 2019.
Yeah. I got one of my friends. He was the St. Francis guy in the red jersey right next to him.
Okay.
Yeah, we compete against each other in college all the time. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, that was So when I kind of understood my value at the time, I'm like, okay, I was the only freshman in the final. I'm like, I should be able to go where I want to go. So LSU, came right, and yeah. But my thing, what I would say to people who are getting in the portal, don't get in the portal blind. Like if you have a doubt that you won't get picked up by a school that's like equal or better than, or I mean, if you want to go to a lesser school, that's okay. But if you don't know, I wouldn't play with it.
Yeah, make sure you have a plan, because like
I have a plan going into it.
Last thing you want to do is come back empty-handed and be like, "Hey, coach, I was just messing around, bro. I was just messing around. Right. I mean all that."
Yeah, because it's a business. Like I see people say all the time, these coaches don't care. I mean, they care, but they like when it comes to business, they don't care. Like they're gonna operate as a business first, and then personal safety.
Exactly. Like gotta look after the team and all that for sure. And so over to LSU, like like you said, you just have a culture of just all these dogs coming through it. I mean, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, like yourself, Sean, Noah, Terrence, Javon, like just to think off just some people that I'm, going off. Like, what was the practice culture like? Like, what was it like behind closed doors at LSU?
Greatness. We be cooking up greatness at practice. I have a video in my phone. It's from the year we got shut down, but we were all we all be talking like mad shit at practice, like just to each other, about like who's beating each other out the blocks, who's cooking who in the 30, who's doing, you know what I'm saying? So one practice, Coach Shaver let us all line up, like 1 through 8, line us all up down the goal, and we went, and like we were only supposed to go 30 meters, and we ended up going like all the way like to 70, and he shut practice down after that. Cause he was like, we can't have that.
You know, y'all gotta run all the way down. No, we done with that.
But like it's super competitive. Like you don't mentally in your head, you're not comfortable going, like you're not comfortable half-assing the workout. Like you're not comfortable, like, you know, I hear some guys be like, oh yeah, we going, you know what I'm saying, run this time, run this, but like you're not comfortable mentally doing that while training with these other guys. Like that's just not the standard, you know, so that we have like that because of what we know we all could be and where we could be in all of our goals. Like everybody's goal on the team basically is to go pro. And if you look at the statistics, only 1% of people, you know what I'm saying, are professional athletes. So you got a team full of 1%ers, like that's great culture.
Yeah, just looking back at all the places that LSU, especially recently, has gone, it's like, that they got some culture of sending people to the next level. So, you know, definitely want to take a look if you're in that, you know, echelon of athletes there. And then want to kind of take you back within that season. So that was, I think it was, what was that, 2021 indoors, you guys come in second to Oregon. Yep. And there's a very notable video of yourself making a statement. And I'll let you share with us, like what happened at indoor nationals.
So you know, me just coming from Oregon, right? Me and my boy DJ, we talking shit to each other, and I think it was at we were at Tyson Invitation, no, either Tyson or Razorback, whichever one Oregon came to. Me and him were in the bleachers talking, and that meet is a competitive meet, right? And so I'm telling him, like, boy, you crazy. Like, we're gonna win. Like, we're gonna win nationals. Like, it's. I have no doubt. You know what I'm saying? He's like, nah, you crazy. Like, we about to win nationals. What you talking about? So me and him, you know, going back and forth, and he was like, bet. I was like, all right, bet. So we had a huge bet. I'm not gonna say how much, but we had a bet on who was gonna win. And when nationals went down, and we got second. It hurt giving them the money, but it put a chip on my shoulder because I'm like, okay, like, you know what I'm saying, me and him made a bet back, right? I'm like, all right, like, I gotta get this money back. But besides that, I wanted to win a national championship as a team before leaving college. Like, that's just a goal that was on my checklist my whole life. Like, you know, you watching playing Road to Glory growing up and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? I don't play football, but I'm gonna put it into my perspective of what I got going on. Yeah, they got a championship there. I won a championship in real life.
There you go. And then ends up getting it all done. Team comes out with the win. Like, I remember that was just like, it was dope seeing y'all, you know, winning, and everyone, like, just people like stepping up and getting stuff done. Javon balling out, you know, winning the not the Heisman, the Bowerman and everything.
We didn't even win. We didn't even win that year with the full potential. Like, because myself included, just fell short to the plate of expectation for ourselves, and, you know what I'm saying, I will not say coach, I'm gonna say for myself, but there were a group of us, not a group, but a couple of us that fell short to that expectation that could have just boosted on to that number.
All right, now I got a big question. Now, be honest here. Don't just say LSU to say LSU. I need to hear the real honest opinion. If we take that team from 2021, LSU, and let's say everyone returns, so everyone that was at Nationals returns, and now it's y'all versus Florida, last year's Florida team, head to head, who wins the national championship?
Also, of course, but that's going no. Let me think. That's hard because Terrence won the 100, but Joe just won the 100, and Joe won the 200 last year. Won the 200 this time. Let me think. Well, our 4x1 will win. I mean, no matter about the stick. Yeah, 4x1 will win. We got him in the high jump and long jump, and another long jump. we're including the guys that stepped up this year as well.
It's so none of the people that this year, it's the
Okay.
same. Well, actually, yeah, we will. So if everyone returned and the meet was happening last year, so past year's championship.
Yeah, we definitely would. They would need Grant. They would need Grant back.
They would need Grant. So if Grant was on the team, then it might be
on the team. It'll be okay. Like, it'll have to come down to the 4x4, but yeah, we'll still got it.
Ooh, that would have been dope. Grant versus Javon in the long jump.
Yeah, that would have been pressure.
That would have been good. Awesome. And then so recently, obviously, you've made the announcement that you're foregoing your years at LSU, turning professional. How long was this something that you were thinking about? And was there any like last kind of moment that was like okay, now is the time? Like how'd that situation all come to you?
Well, I've been wanting to go pro. I've been wanting this to be my job since, first grade when they ask you what you want to do, what you're like that's been my answer. But I kind of went into this season like at the day one of fall training, like, all right, the goal is to go be professional after the season. Like this the goal is for this to be it. So I just went into this whole season with that mindset. Indoor, when I was being consistent, like 7'6", I had to talk to myself like, yeah, we need to, get our stuff together. Indoor nationals, that didn't work out in my favor. So, okay, had to come out Texas relays. And when I came out Texas relays, we ran the 13:24. Even though it was windy, it showed me, it proved to myself that like, okay, like I could run this. Like I can, because there was a lot of things sloppy with that race and the time still was what it was. So I'm like, okay, like this is doable. So training still outdoor, same mindset of wanting to go pro, but also wanting to run the 4x1. That caused a little not hiccup, but I ended up straining my hamstring, so I had to be out for like a week and a half. And then came back. It kind of not slowed me down, but okay, came from Texas relays running 13:2, and then Tom Jones, my first meet back, I ran like 13:5. I mean, it's cool, but like losing, not back on track. But then we got back on track. Ran a win legal PR, like alumni gold. I think that was like my PR at the time was 46, and I ran 34. So that was cool. Still going in the right direction. SECs ran 13:28, pretty easy. And then that's all just more confidence and momentum. That like, okay, like this can happen. I just things have to line up at nationals, but we got to get to regionals first. So got through regionals. Regionals, it wasn't my best, but we got through it, so that mattered. Mm-hmm. Got to nationals, and I felt the pressure at the door, and I just answered it. I answered it because oh my God, I got out, and I think it was hurdle 7. Hurdle 7, I lost focus like in the slightest bit, and then I hit 8, hit 9, and then almost crashed 10, like almost fell, and ran through. I ran 13:15, but I was upset when the race first finished because I'm like, bro, I just messed up like my run, like by hitting 8, 9, and 10. But then when I looked at the time, I was like, oh, okay, but I'll take that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember watching the championship, and it was like, I'll be honest, I didn't think you were gonna be close. Like going into the race, I'm like, this isn't gonna be a close race. It's gonna be a landslide. It's like, I'm like, I like Eric. I'd like to see him win. I'd like to see him come close, but it's not gonna be close. And then, and then the race starts, and I'm like, okay, he's up there. First hurdle, okay, he's up there. It's like hurdle 4 or 5. I'm like, oh no, is he gonna do something? Like, cause I feel like you were like right there. I'm like, oh no, is he gonna do something? Then like I saw like what you said, like on hurdle 8 and 9, it was like a little stumble, and I'm like, oh man, like that, like you said, you drop a massive personal best, but you come in second. Like, what's that emotion like? Where it's like, yo man, I did the best I could. It just so happened it was second best. Like, is that mixed? Was there any mixed emotion there for you there?
I wouldn't say it was mixed emotion because like, yeah, I got second. I was thankful and happy with a PR, but I knew that wasn't my best execution. Like I know there's better in store, so it gives me like light that okay, like practice is working. I'm progressing. I'm getting better, right? As long as I step up to the plate and execute what I have to do, the time should continue to drop. And so that's kind of how I took that race, and just, want to learn from it, watch the film a whole bunch, see where you can critique what you have to do on a more consistent basis, so that those, like, the mistakes like 8, 9, and 10 don't happen again, so because if you can make a mistake on 8, 9, and 10, still run 13, 15, right? What can happen when you execute a clean race, right? I don't know yet, but we're gonna find out.
Yeah, you got to feel like, man, if them clean, I might, maybe it was 12.99. Who knows? Who knows? The sky's the limit. Awesome. Then got some fan questions here. Wanted to get with you. So this is from Lexia21. She says, and this was from like 8 people, so I gotta ask, who are you signing with? Are you announcing anything yet? Or are we still on the lookout? Are we not saying what's going on? I know that we got it like 8 times, so I had to ask.
When I find out, I'm gonna let everybody know.
All right, there we go. We got it. There was too many people asking, so I had to throw that in there. Next one. So this is from Ariam Neuter. He says, did you find any struggles with being a hurdler that's on the slightly shorter side?
That's a good question. 39s, is cake, but in my recruiting process, I feel that they held me back in my recruiting process, because a lot of coaches wouldn't even want to recruit me because oh, he's too short, he wouldn't even convert to the 42s. Like coach literally sat me down one time and told me, he was like, yeah, we won't even have you on the hurdles your first year. We'll have you in the 100, 200. I'm like, what? Like, I'm doing what's a hurdle? Like, you tripping? So but my high school coach, like my senior year after the season, he had me start working on 42-inch hurdles, like in high school still. So I had that whole summer to kind of prepare, understand, get a feel for it, and know how I'm doing it. Something that helps me a lot though, because I'm 5'9", but my legs are pretty long, so that helps me being able to lift my lead leg and get my chair leg over the 42s, but everything else has to match as well.
There you go. Yeah, it's like find a way to do it. It's like there's great hurdlers, great sprinters, whatever, of all shapes and sizes. You don't there's no
way. If you want it, you gotta get it.
Exactly. They're not gonna change the height of it because of who you are. So you gotta figure out. It
meant it to be a skill gap. It's like an intentional skill gap, I feel like.
Yeah, there you go. You're just playing on expert mode, man. Like everyone's like, man, you want to use man, you 7'3". Settle down.
Hey.
Come on now. This one's from Matthew. Who says, what advice would you give your younger self?
That's a good question. What would I tell young me? I would tell him to stay patient. It's gonna work out. But keep doing what you're doing, really. Cause there's nothing that I feel that I wish I would have learned, like little knick-knack things. But as far as my career goes, nothing that I wish I would have learned at a sooner age, just because I feel like with my journey with God, everything is happening when it's supposed to happen, and everything happens for a reason. That's my particular path, though. Little things like little reassurance and things that it's working out. Don't don't give up on it. Don't let your anxiety play with you about it. Like, it's gonna happen.
There you go. Yeah, I'm from Philly, so we always say trust the process. It's a journey. Things will figure out on its own. So it's like don't be pushing things that that don't need to be getting pushed. It'll figure it out. Last one for you. I saw this. I figured it might be a little funny. Albums Finn says, how do you feel about Trey Cunningham and Grant Holloway?
In my competition. I don't really know either of them on a personal level to have an opinion like that. On the surface level of how I know both of them, they both cool people. Like, they both competition. They both exciting to run against.
Yeah, it's like it's crazy. The hurdles just in general are really deep, especially in the U.S. Like, y'all have, what is it, like 8 out of the top 11 or whatever, something like that is from the U.S.
It's cutthroat.
Yeah, so it's like there's no room for error. So it's like, yeah, these people I'm trying to, we all trying to make teams. There's only 3, maybe 4, well, 4 spots now for World. So it's like
Right.
we gotta figure it out. Gotta figure it out.
They gotta put the shuttle hurdle relay in there. Like, you know how they take the whole
Mhm.
final goes to the 100 and the 400. The whole final needs to go for the hurdles too.
There you go. Hey, I'm down for it. Actually, last question, because I just thought how there's a little connection. So you obviously former Oregon Duck, hurdler, Devin Allen, Oregon Duck, also a hurdler, now doing the Eagles thing. Got his most recent touchdown. Any thoughts? Like, can we get any insight on, have you been following his journey with football and anything like that?
It's been dope. I remember my visit when I went to Oregon. Like, being from, like, being in Texas in the South, like, Oregon's this little magical place nobody knows nothing about. So when I went up there, and he was actually out there on my visit, he was talking to me. I was like, dang, like, this is about to be my reality. It's a little cool, little I don't really know what you call them, but little
cool
just
moment.
as he a little cool little moment that happens. And then what year was this? I think it was last year at Olympic trials in the prelim. I think it was my first time like seeing him again since then. And like when he dapped me up, and I just thought it was pretty cool. Like, oh damn, bro, remember me.
There we go. Well, we'll see if he'll be going up against the Saints at all this year. Might have some difficulties.
I'm trying to find a way to get in the league too. I need a 40 out somewhere.
hey, go hit up LSU. Get one of them one of the pro days or whatever.
Yeah.
Figure out a way. There you go. Well, Eric, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been awesome hearing about your story, a little bit more about you, get some insight. Where can people go if they wanted to learn a little bit more about you on social media or anything like that?
My Instagram, follow me on Instagram. What's my Instagram? E. Edward. What is it?
That sounds right. I think that's right.
Yeah. I think that's it.
There you go. Well, thank you so much. And then thank you to everyone who's been listening. This has been another episode of Track World News. If you want more content, go follow us over on Instagram at Track World News. We post almost daily over there. Gonna have a lot of stuff coming up for you with this off season. That's gonna do it from us here. Have a good one. Peace.